Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and to some of you, good night, depending on your time zone. I'm George Onyibe, and of course, this afternoon, I want us to look at some of the things we should be expecting, we should look out for regarding the proposed additional creation of 31 states in Nigeria. Of course, the National Assembly are still going through the process until when the bill is passed, and then we will have additional 31 states to the existing state in Nigeria already. But a lot of us do not understand what this means by implication. And so there are one or two things I will call the attention of my people to. Our people, Nigerian, Agbo people, South people, maybe you'll understand. There are a lot of narratives out there that don't worry, it is still going through process. They have not created any state yet. And some people want you to believe that it's normal. It's going to be for our good. But of course, as always, we think anti-clockwise. We have the capacity to see what most of you cannot discern, not to talk of being able to visage. And so in our little way, we will point you to that direction. Peradventure, we'll begin to get ready for what is to come. Let us look at creation of state. Does it have advantage? Does it have disadvantage? If you go back to the history of creation of state in Nigeria, only few states were actually created out of necessity. The rest states were created to divide and to rule. The other states were created to weaken a particular region. But of course, the people who introduced the creation of state to weaken other regions soon discover that everything that have advantage has disadvantage. So creation of state that were actually meant to weaken many ethnic groups became an instrument of development. And then they discovered that the more states they create, those supposed weaker states are developed faster than anticipated. And so for some reason, creation of states, there was no need for it. Because those you are trying to emasculate, subjugate, eventually, your weapon or tools of subjugation have become the very instrument that will make them. It's been 29 years now since the last state was created. And nobody has thought about going there again. And if President Ahmed Bola Tinubu in a time like this decide to create additional state, of course, going through the process in the National Assembly, this called for a moment of sober repression and in-depth consideration and analysis to what is to come. But first of all, I will call on my brother. I call him as my brother, Senator Ned Nwoko. We listen to all the supposed states that will be created. And let me focus on the South and the Southeast. We discover that in the South, very few states will be created, 5. And Anyoma is not there. Why is Anyoma not there? Anyoma people, all those Ned Nwoko tout in my inbox, talking rubbish. I know you are ignorant, including your leader. All of you are ignorant. But let's say what we are saying is assumption. Let's assume everything I have to say this afternoon is assumption. Of course, you know that assumption does not have legal backup in the law court. Before 1996, we have started clamoring for the creation of Anyoma. Anytime we are close to getting Anyoma state, one lunatic will run out from nowhere and cause confusion. This is another opportunity we had to create Anyoma state. All of a sudden, Senator Ned Nwoko came out. and allow Igbo people to fool him. He's sponsoring a bill supposedly for the creation of Anyoma State, what all of us wanted. But no, he said they should create Anyoma State and add it to the southeast. Senator Ned Nwoko, where is your Anyoma? Of course, he was sponsored by Igbo Biafra people. But of course, the people who know. And I thank President Ahmed Bola Tinubu. Because if actually the creation of this additional 31 states is to solve problem, as the Yoruba man that was addressing Nigerians on Arise television is true, and then they would have solved a lot of problem. Because creating Anyoma and adding to the southeast, it is like resonating a problem that is on Kuma before, because it cannot work. Our value system is not the same. This is not about who is superior or who is fake. And so I would say, because of the misunderstanding, because of conflict of interest, there is nothing like Anyoma State. Of course, Ugoja State will be there. Those people deserve it. And now, finally, the Igbo Biafra people have what they want. You see, they know that their 5 plots of land, ordinarily, it's not supposed to be up to 5 states. But yeah, they keep asking for more states so that they can be like South-South, so that they can be like Southwest. But they know that even only Edo and Delta is bigger than the whole of Southeast. Not to talk of including Bayelsa, Cross River, Akwa Ibom, River State. They know that only Edo and Delta is bigger than the whole of the Southeast. But they wanted more states. And now that Tinubu have answered your prayer, I hope Nigeria will have peace. And so if the bill pulls off in the end, the Southeast will have additional 6 states plus the 5. No, additional 7 states plus the 5, making it 12. So it looks like every local government in the Southeast is going to be a state. And so maybe for once, Nigerian will have peace. But how I wish creation of states, they will ask every state to generate their revenue. It would have begun to make sense. But if that is not the essence of this restructure, creation of additional state is just simply taking the resources from the minority and sharing it to whoever it pleases. I don't know if you understand, because state is about allocation. State creation of state is about sharing of allocation. And so by the time they take the money from the minority, they share it among themselves. That is what it's all about. And so finally, maybe we'll not be hearing about Biafra agitation again. Finally, maybe we'll not be hearing about restructure again. Finally, maybe Nigeria will become our loving country. Because that thing Igbo Biafra people are looking for, they have it. Does it mean there is something we didn't know before now? South, pay attention. In recent time, I told Anyoma people, I said, not until you have a body that speaks for you, you are irrelevant. We must come together. Let us assume Edo and Delta, the true states region that were marginalized and still being marginalized, were created into numerous states. Let's say we had Edo and Delta was divided into 6 states before now, or even 5, as you have in Southeast, which means over 30 years, we would have produced about 135 different governors. And you can imagine if these 2 states has produced 100 governors in 29 years. These 100 governors would not have come from the same place, because most of you are not looking at it from that angle. Since the creation of Nigeria, Agbo has never developed. Agbo remained the same way. The same way you see Agbo before Ifeanyi Okowa become governor. That was how Agbo is like. It's like when you hear Benin City, Benin City. Benin City have been there from time immemorial. But it was because Agbo man become governor. That is why all of a sudden we now have tied road in Agbo. Let's assume if Delta State was divided into 3. I want to believe maybe Urobo, maybe Shekiri, maybe Anyoma, each of them would have had for 29 years. Divide it, break the number down. You see how many governors each of them would have had in their region. Delta State would have been a center of attraction, including Edo State. But no, they leave this region into 2. They took this region and merged it to other regions that they extracted from the southeast. They call us South-South. How many states is coming from there? To some of it doesn't mean. But as far as the quota system in Nigeria is concerned, it means. People like Senator Ned Nwoko who wanted to become governor or whatever. We were asking for Anyoma State when Ebonyi State was created. Ebonyi State alone is divided into 3. Which means every money coming from the federal coffer on the next allocation when this bill put through, Ebonyi State will be taking 3%. Because if Ebonyi State is divided into 3, which means each of these states will have allocation. I'm just focusing on the southeast. But you see, we keep quiet. You see, our politicians don't know what they want. They think they can become something because they don't value their own people. It boiled down to Senator John Mbata. It's all about this Igbo, Ohaneze Ndi Igbo, all this rubbish. It's the same game. If Senator John Mbata does not know he is being used for this same purpose, they are almost achieving. And then think again. Where is Ned Nwoko? Of course, I know that after this broadcast, they can use shame and smuggle in Anyoma. And the people of Edo State, pay attention. They're going to carve out a state from Edo and Delta. And then Ondo State. What is the purpose? Is it to weaken Benin? No, what is the purpose? Is it to turn it to experiment ground? Because most of you do not know that Edo, Delta, Kogi State, and Benue State is experiment ground. To see if one Nigeria will work. Is that going to be extension of the experiment ground? You know, some of these things, most of you will not understand. I listened to the Yoruba man who was trying to analyze the essence of creating this additional state. He says something. He said, we all know because they are going to convert it to 8 regions. No longer 6 geopolitical zone. It's going to become 8 geopolitical zone. He said, after all, we understand, number one, that the South-South, there is nothing like geopolitical zone in the South-South. And I looked at the man. I said, you can imagine the level of intellectual dishonest people. Igbo Biafra people have been mocking us for more than 30 years, or almost 30 years, 29 years exactly. That we say we are South-South, that there is no geopolitical zone in geography known as South-South. And this we all know. But we accepted it because we thought Nigerian leaders were sincere. But that guy was telling us yesterday in that press communique that there is nothing like South-South, so they have to change it. The question is, was Dr. Alex Ekweme drunk when he submitted this name to Abacha along with his team? But all these are game. Our people are not paying attention to. You will lose more than you expect. Let me break it down. I come from Boji Agbo. And each time you say, I'm from Boji Owa or Boji Agbo, Despite the simple fact that the vowel sound change, if you would have gone to a British man and say, where do you come from, young man? I say, I'm from Boogie Boogie, Agbo. He's going to shift back and look at you again. And I know many Agbo people don't know. That thing you call Boji Boji is not Agbo dialect. It is English language. And it's not Boji Boji, it's Boogie Boogie. During the era of the imperialist invasion, they did not find it easy to cross Agbo. So those colonial masters, whether they are Francophone, Anglophone, Portugalphone, whatever food they are, knew that crossing Agbo from Onitsha, you're crossing Agbo to Benin, it's not a journey for the soft. They must be confronted. That is how they mount signboard there and write it Boogie Boogie. By implication, warning under imperialists that this is a dangerous forest where criminals hide. Intellectual, dishonest Nigerians. They accept it. So as Agbo man, you are a criminal. It's in your name. The same way Nigeria know that there is no geographical location known as South. They still call us South. The same way Igbo people opened their eye and gave mockery name to Ihenoha people, and then they call them Ikwere people. Do we continue? Because some of you are going to, you think you have brain. You are looking at the way they are pushing you in the game of chess because you don't understand that it is a game of throne. But I need you to pull back and view it from the other end. Consider the implication of every single tiny object in that drawing. Maybe you begin to understand what we are trying to make you to see. It is not the hatred of anybody that drives us. We call for fairness. We call for equity. We call for justice. We call for transparency. Ultimately, that we may be the author of our destiny. Nothing more, nothing less. And so once this bill put through, for instance, that land mass known as Ebonyi State, which is not up to Ika local government, is going to produce 3 governors. Do you know what that will mean in addition to the wealth of Igbo people? And then the Yoruba are going to have about 19 states. Do you know what it means? Taking allocation and giving to 19 governors from the federal coffer. And what about the North? Are we talking about the North Central, the Northeast, or the Northwest? Okay. And by the time they changed the geopolitical zone into 8, you see, my brother, there is nothing like South again. Is it our fear that drives them, or true development of Nigeria? Through transparency, in search of equity, fairness. Have you considered it? And a lot of work has been put in place regarding the South region, that we might be able to service the next generation of our people. And now we are not fully aware about the name of the geopolitical zone that will be created. But I'm sure the Southeast will remain one geopolitical zone. And I'm sure the Southwest will still remain one geopolitical zone. The North, as of the old Eastern region, of course, is into 3 geopolitical zones already. And so they will not be afraid to take any further diversification in terms of expansion. And so, if we have 6 already, let's hope, but we know certainly that South is the target. They will break the South. Only God knows what we will become. Maybe this time we are going to become North Central. Maybe we are going to become West South. Or maybe we are going to become East and South. And so where will that keep us? Where exactly are we going to start from? Considering the fact that when it comes to the federal government, as ethnic group, nobody speaks for us. The few people that are there to make impact and see that this tide that hold us down and make us to swim against the tide is considered and reviewed. They are allowing Igbo Biafra people to make use of them. After they tell you we are intelligent people, but of course they are. Just that they are a bunch of intellectual, dishonest people. And so they said, yes, there is nothing like South-South. So they're going to change the name. All of you investing on the project of South-South. And I'm sure once the bill put through, nothing like South-South, we'll start all over again. They said they won't create Ijaw yet. They've not said anything about Ijaw State. But they are considering a lot of things. They're going to carve Ijaw from Bayelsa. They're going to carve Ijaw from River. They're going to carve Ijaw maybe from Cross River. Somewhere along the line, they may ignore data. And then they're going to give us Warri State. You are not seeing it. You are not seeing it. But then, if those who are representing us fail to consult with the stakeholders in our land, and to them is go there and collect allocation, and then they come back home. When others begin to undo us, let us not deceive the next generation of our people that we are marginalized. I have told you that there are two sides to every coin. Maybe there is something the Igbo people saw. Maybe they introduced this very game they are playing in the mind of one Nigeria. Once we know what they know, they will switch the pattern. Kudos. Kudos. And people like Senator Ned Nwoko. Oh, Nigeria, we beg you, you have to create our Anioma and add it to the southeast so they can have fair more states. Now, southeast has additional 7 states. And in your Anioma, you are using to deceive our people. Anioma is not even there. Or else she will be there, added to the southeast. You get the point now? Did you get the point? May God be with Orashi people. And so where are you going to continue from? Have you tried to see this new state in the new territory? There are things I'm not permitted to see. But let's just assume that what I'm saying is assumption. Of course, you know that assumption does not have legal backup in the law court. It boils down to the same thing. If you like, be waiting for miracle. Be living on the shadow and the mercy of other people. Don't raise a voice that will speak for you. Your people will be misplaced, and there is nothing you will do about it. The game they are playing will bend us under the weight of humiliation. But if we wake up and open our eyes now, everything they have factioned against us will work in our favor. You don't expect me to tell you here. I see all those people who are robbing us, stealing from us, mesmerizing our place, insulting us, doing what they are doing. I see, bam, just a single policy. They will run in vain. They will walk in vain. And every weapon they have fashioned against us will bring an end to them. But you don't understand. You don't understand. Did you know how many years it took for there to be a flyover in Anioma land? Is there flyover in Abo? The whole Abo, do we have flyover? Do we have roundabout in Abo? The one that is in Asaba, is it up to a kilometer? Is it in Warri? How many flyover do we have? It has taken more than 12 years for Warri as governors to even have the flyover they have there. Why? because our location cannot afford it. You just take Nwike and Chibuike Amechi to use flyover and litter River State. And same Fubara is going on the same. And some people may believe, well, is that employment? We don't have employment. We don't have flyover. Which one do we have? No, which one do we have? Your mansion. Which one do you have? Your private jet. Which one do you have? The money in your bank account. My brother, in as much as we will continue to condemn Igbo Biafra people who is trying to feed on the misery of our people, I won't blame them for whatever they will do to us in the nearest future if we fail to stand up. We're going to create more states. It is restructure of Nigeria. But believe me, if these states are created based on the allocation they are getting from the federal government, then all of you from the South, you have just been shortchanged already. You have just been shortchanged. And there is something that man said. He was talking about ethnic groups, like I have always told you in so many of my broadcasts. For instance, I told you Idoma people are not minority. Igala people are not minority. I told you Ijaw people are not minority. But based on this experiment ground of one Nigeria, they pieces Igala people. And the man was saying, so based on this, we want to see how we can bring them together so they can remain on their own, so they will not, be big grammar. But we know when the time to do the right thing begin, we will know. And so if you want to create upper state, which is supposed to be for Idoma people, and then we must steer it across Enugu, Ebonyi, down to Cross River State, including Kogi and Benue State. I hope that map is visible in the map of Nigeria. If not, what is being still done is also the work of intellectual, dishonest individual. The same way they deceive Abacha, maybe they will deceive Tinubu. It does not matter who is there. Those who are benefiting has a way of analyzing it. And then it looks palatable and sweet to every one of us. But those of us who are bearing the brunt, who have been subchanged in many fronts and dimensions, in the guise of minority, for the single father we do not have a voice. It is to your own detriment. Don't let anybody deceive you. If after the creation of these states and supposed geopolitical zone, hear me well, and Nigerians still remain under the same quota system from federal coffer, you people from South, mark my word, you have no idea what you are entering. Let me remind you, every region in Nigeria has a project, a program where they are funded to develop their place. Southeast Development Forum, South this one, Southwest this one, South. What do we have? Niger Delta. Is Niger Delta actually a development base for the South people? Hell no. Because Ondo is not in South as we speak today. But they benefit from it. Anambra and Abia are not in the South, but they benefit, they share from that same Niger Delta supposedly. And some people try to introduce South development, whatever. The way they shorten it down. There are a lot of things I want to say. But if I say all of them, they will change the pattern. Already, the information I have shared already, we know where it's going to end. But the point is, you that is involved, you that is majorly of concern, are you getting it? So they're going to take Ondo State, they're going to take Benin, Delta State, they're going to take Edo State, and then they're going to do one concussion. What is the purpose of that mixture? That mixture coming from Midwestern region now, what is the purpose? The earlier you open your eye, the better for all of you. Senator John Mbata, we are supposed to have Ikwere State. Or Ikwere is not up to reach having a state. Senator Ned Nwoko, we are supposed to have Anioma State. Have we not been clamoring for it more than 40 years? A project of more than 80 years? At the dime minute, you people will sell the next generation of our people. How much did you people sell us? How much? There is everything to benefit when they create more states. That is why, despite the fact that Eastern State has given birth to 2 regions, and in total of existing 11 states within the old Eastern region, let's say 9 states, removing Edo and Delta. What happened to Edo and Delta? Or they are not region. Midwestern was a Midwestern state, not region. Not until you begin to speak up. I'm very sure you're not fully aware what is happening. From Midwestern region, you were squashed into Bender State. You didn't see anything. From Bender State, you were squashed into Edo and Delta State. You didn't see anything. From Edo and Delta State, you were attached to a side of Southeastern region, and you became South-South. You didn't see anything. Let us see what tomorrow holds for us, Midwestern region people. This is not to talk too much. This is to make you to look at what you are not seeing. Imagine if Senator Ned Nwoko has come out and said, I'm sponsoring a bill for the creation of Anioma State. And now that they are going to create more geopolitical zone, and naturally will fall into the southeast, or naturally will fall into maybe north-north or west-west, since south-south is fraud, according to that man. At least we would have known that, yes, this Anioma we are asking for, it is a free Anioma, not manipulated Anioma. But of course, somebody will always antagonize us. The same way they will antagonize us, they will antagonize Ikwere, they will antagonize Bini people. You people open your eyes. The same people. Why they fear us is what I don't know. You people open your eyes. I will stop here and we will go and pray. And we will see what the Lord will tell us. Our political representative, that states other people are sponsoring bill to create naturally. There is no Kogi man that say, create Kogi and dash it to Delta State. Create Kogi and dash it to Anambra State. Create Kogi and dash it to Benue State or dash it to Enugu. None of them. If you no understand, you no go understand. Let me see, maybe there is 1 or 2 insults, and then we'll continue from there. If you think it's important, just feel, don't worry. And this is Ephraim. He said, go and sit down. Igbo is bleeding, and you are talking nonsense. Yes, Ephraim, Igbo is bleeding. But whose fault is it? Federal government of Nigeria? Was it not because of the creation of additional states to the southeast Igbo people that brought about Biafra agitation? Is it not what brought about the obedient movement? Is it not why Nnamdi Kanu created unknown gunmen? Was Igbo land bleeding before now? You people were blaming it on Fulani headsmen. You people have created a monster that will eventually destroy you. All the house Soludo is demolishing in Anambra, does anyone belong to Awosa? Does anyone belong to Abo person? All the people they are killing in Imo State, have you seen other tribe? The one that are dying in Ebonyi, is it not you people doing it to yourself? So who is making Igbo to bleed? All your elders can come out and say is that they have arrested Simon Ekpa, and now they arrested Simon Ekpa, killing is still going on. They should ask federal government. Is Southeast only the region in Nigeria? Why will any small thing that happen to Southeast, they say federal government, Fulani, Yoruba, why? And now everybody is disassociating from you. Igbo is bleeding. I want to believe that this additional 7 states they have given to you in your 5 plots of land, I want to believe we will have peace. Blackmail, character assassination, propaganda will stop. You are talking nonsense. Only Edo and Delta State is bigger than all your Southeast. But Edo and Delta State are still Edo and Delta State. And now we don't know where they are going to sell Edo to in the coming days. But your Ebonyi now is going to have 3 governors. Do you know what that means? So when they are buying their jeep for each governor, your suffer just starts. But your problem, Ephraim, is that the greediness of your people is what is making your land to bleed. Have you not seen the Igbo man that went to be sleeping with small boy? Carry small boy and using him for money ritual? When they caught him, he said he did not do it. It was the police that forced him to agree so that there will be peace. Did you not see that hotelier? And then when they caught him red-handed, he now starts swearing with his son's name. May God forgive the children of that man because they don't know what that man did. If I lie, let God kill my son. Let him kill my grandpapa. Let him kill my... May God forgive that man's children. And may the foot of that man's enemy be on his neck. Does his children know he's sleeping with small children like them? Tomorrow now, that one will blame federal government. Is it not Igbo man raping Igbo small children? Why are you people running for Okite? Who make Igbo land to be bleeding? Where is your Akwa Okoko and other Njoshi giving you Okite? Onya ji wihe anyuehe onyowa iken. Unure ji ndi wihe anyuehe yakono jira anyowa iken. And I'm sure Southeast, you people are inside now, you are happy. You are almost there. Is it not our one Nigeria? You are happy. You should be ashamed, Ephraim. Igbo land is bleeding. Go and sit down. Igbo land is Igbo people the only people in Nigeria? Are you people the only people in Nigeria? Are you people the only people? Did you see Fulani herdsmen, Miati Allah, Boko Haram? Those, they are terrorist group in the north. Do you see them accusing federal government? Do you see them accusing anybody? Because they know where their problem is coming from. But on your own, you know where your problem is coming from. You will blame it on another person. Today, despite the attack of Fulani in my region, we cannot be able to say it's Fulani. Because Igbo people also impersonate Fulani to cause havoc in my place. You should be ashamed of yourself. I see Africa Osas. I greet you from here. Good afternoon. Why are all the South governors not speaking out against this? No, they don't understand. And they don't have a platform where they talk. All of them are on their own. Sheriff is on his own. Yadaro is on his own. What do you call him? Sim is on his own. All of them are on their own. They don't understand. They don't. But I don't blame them. Edo and Delta, that is a region. Look at what they are doing with us. Where are our politicians? The person who came out to speak up, we were almost convinced he loved our people. The next thing was, boom! Give me Anyoma and add it to Southeast. I see Iguabuchi. I greet you from here, Iguabuchi. And of course, on this note, I'll bring the broadcast to an end. But don't think what is about to come is in the favor of South-South. It is actually meant to weaken South-South, demoralize us completely, subjugate us completely. But you see, we are not going to cry. The Igbo know the truth. They know the secret. That is why they are always the first one to cry. Everywhere they are crying. You see that idiot now, Ephraim, now blaming Nigeria now that Igbo land is bleeding. The very problem they cause for themselves. Let us see where they are going to. Until then, the people of South-South, do not lay down your arms. Do not keep quiet. Do not pretend you are naive or ignorant. Don't pretend you don't know what is about to come. Have a nice day. I'm George Onyibe. Of course, I'm from Abo, Delta State.